Hi, this is Mudassar. I welcome you to top 5 mistakes project manager should avoid in order to elevate the chances of the projects to be successful. Let's wait for a couple of minutes more to let people dial in as they are dialing in as we speak. Meanwhile, why not open up your chat and join in the conversation by introducing yourself, like your name and where are you joining from. I mean, this is an informal way of testing a technology that all of you can listen to me and hear, and later on at the time of the question answer session, you can post your question in the chat. So go on, write your name and from where you are joining in. Please let me know if you can hear me. Go on. Your name and where are you joining from. That you could type in the chat box. Munya from Montreal, Canada. I can see other people. Please let me know if you can hear me. Samir, Muhammad, Yolanda, Numan, Mr. Tanveer, Mr. Khan. Welcome. Muhammad from Ottawa, Ontario. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Well, let's begin. So there is no quantitative answer or benchmarking to share as an answer for this question, but there are clear strategies that could help us deliver better at our jobs. So before jumping the guns, why don't you share some of your mistakes which you believe could have been avoided easily if someone would have told you earlier? Or if you get another pass, what would you do differently in those situations? So yes, Munya, Noman, Muhammad, Mr. Tanveer, Samir, some of your mistakes, some of your life stories from your professional lives, which you want to change because now you are more experienced. I just want to confirm if everybody can hear me, because I believe Samir, he is only joined as a video participant. I don't see his audio. Please, I would like everybody to confirm the audio.
Yes, I can listen to you, Mudassir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's begin, because I wanted to know some of your challenges, but that is fine. So I will not take a lot of your time here. Most of you know me. I'm sure you must have visited my website, LinkedIn profile, or have been in touch with regard in emails or messages. I'm a project management professional, trainer, and enthusiast. I have been part of the project management training since 2007, and have worked with students in United States, France, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, and the Middle East, including the South Asia. So this is another question that I would like you people to answer in the chat box, to write that you are signed up for this webinar because you want to achieve what, or you want to hear what, or what are your expectations. So any answer in this regard, that what is your expectation of this webinar? What are your challenging part? I wanted to learn from your experience of participants, mistakes we can avoid. Definitely, Mr. Tanveer. Thank you. We all understand, we all have been part of this project management journey for quite some time. So starting from initiating a project, uh, maintaining a good relationship with our stakeholders, understanding the right requirements, forecasting and estimation, something that we as a human being, we lack these two things, forecasting and estimations, because our forecasting and estimations are based on our historical experiences, something that have passed. So, and we try to forecast the future based on it. And we all struggle in the execution phase, because that is where most of our assumptions are challenged. Most of our requirement gathered that we have gathered over the period of time from the stakeholders are even challenged, that whether they were right or wrong. And closing, how to hand over the project to the operations, how to make sure that the project that we have done and the initiative we have completed, it has started benefiting the organization. That is the ultimate goal of any initiative, and this is should be the objective of all project managers, that we should not only be looking at the projects from the completion point of view, but from the benefit point of view also. We'll go into this a little while later. So before jumping to the agenda and topics to cover today, let me share a very small story which was not part of this training till yesterday. And I myself always believe that right language and right jargons minimizes the noise and miscommunication on the job. And I am very strong supporter of formal education of any kind, if wherever you are, whether it's a project management or anything else, because it helps you speak the right language. It takes you away from the very small part that you do at your jobs and your companies are doing. Because once you go for the formal education, you actually see the world beyond your job that you are doing and beyond what your company is actually working on. And that is why it helps you as a project manager to speak the project management language. It will definitely put you on the right track to be a good project manager, as you will be armed with the right arsenal. So what has actually happened is I called my friend Daryl in Toronto yesterday to catch up and just to request him to share the course and free webinar in his circle. He's a seasoned construction project manager and a book writer. We don't expect him to make a mistake. So while talking, he told me about a meeting he had with a seasoned project manager, another senior project manager in a construction company, where he is called to take a consultancy assignment. He asked the project manager to please bring your project plan, your project management plan. Do you people have an idea what project management plan is? So if I ask you to please bring your project management plan, what is the document that you will bring? What is the document that you will showcase? What is a project management plan? Take up a chat, answer this. It's project charter. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, project managers, what are the project management plan? You have 15 seconds. The project manager brought, fair enough, that is a very PMI based bookish definition, which actually makes sense. I mean, that is, Noman, you understand that from where it actually starts from. So the project manager brought a project schedule and was boasting about that how good a plan is. So you could imagine that if you do not know, if you do not have the right training, right formal education, you might be doing mistakes unintentionally, which you could easily avoid. And unfortunately, there was no one else as a coach or a manager or a trainer or within a company, PMO, who could actually help that person to identify that what a project management plan is, which even Samir and Numan understands. I mean, the story ends here, but we will come back to it later. That why formal education, why we have to look for that what is happening in our industry, what is happening in our profession, why the learning is so important for us for continuing making sure that we remain at the top of our profession. I'm sure you have attended many sessions and must have read many articles on the topic of how to be good project manager and how to avoid what kind of mistakes. And everyone can come up with different list arguments. Definitely there is no one answer. But I assure you, what we are going to cover today will definitely make top 10 of all the lists. Project management is not new. It has been in use for hundreds of years. Pyramids of Gaza. These pyramids, it has been said that actually a whole chapter of human civilization is missing from what is known to us today, because still in the 21st century we are trying to figure out how those were built and when those were built and who were the people who built it, what kind of technology that they had, who were the project managers and the leaders at that time. Great Wall of China, Taj Mahal, Panama Canal, all those and many others are done, and we have actually lost that knowledge. And we are trying to figure out reading, understanding from the walls and the pyramids that how those were built. So who are project managers? They are organized, passionate, and goal-oriented who understand what projects have in common. They are change agents. They manage their teams. General skills like business knowledge. I understand it's a little too technical. Let me try to translate it for you. You are an enemy of status quo. You ask questions. You create ripples in the comfort zones of other employees surrounding you. You are a dreamer. You are the hands and the minds of the people who initiated something, who visualized something somewhere. And then they gave you that small baby in your hand and you made sure that the results are as per their expectations. Leading a team can only be effectively done when we focus on the emotional intelligence. It's about your soft side. It is your ability to connect with people and, most importantly, self-awareness. You have delivered your project on time, within budget, the customer has signed it off, and you have completed your end project report. Is that a real end? You have finished the project, time to move on, right? Definitely no. You cannot expect the benefits automatically to drop out of your project with no effort. Successful delivery but no benefit is not in anyone's favor. As the project managers, you are in a unique position to help your customer gain the benefit detailed in the business case. Yes, you are a project manager. You are not someone who are just doing something on ad hoc basis. You are supposed to make sure that your groundwork is properly done. You are supposed to make sure that you know where are you going. So yes, you need to have a business case of all the initiatives and all the challenges that you are working on. So, and you know your project, you know the reason of the project. So that put you in a unique and distinguished position to help your customer. It can be another phase once you have closed the project or run as part of the project itself. Benefit realization approach, that benefits comes only with change, and equally change must be sustained by the benefits. Self-awareness, self-regulations, empathy, motivation, social skills, your soft part, your emotional intelligence. Other departments often have trouble accepting the complexities inherent to project management. How can a simple request need so many resources and so much time to complete? And I'm sure many of you would support me on that or and echo my statements that project managers are always expected to deliver miracles with all what is happening around, with resources not available, with the projects not going within budget and within a timeline. But we are supposed to do the miracles. Average 189% projects over budget, 222% times overrun. That is what happens when you do not have the right project managers in place, when you do not have the right education, when you do not know that what should come next, when you are trained on job by the seniors and the people around those who have been doing those things from years and years, and you are not questioning them with the formal education. It is said that by 2027, employers will need 87.7 million individuals working in a project management oriented roles. These are the leadership roles that we are looking at. These are the managers' role that we are looking at. Next is, this is why we are here. Mistakes, we all make them. These are inevitable without right training. Without right training. Many are accidental and can be avoided. As a project manager or team lead, you receive a lot of ideas, details, notifications, and projects thrown your way. The following 5 mistakes are to blame for most project failures. By avoiding these pitfalls, your organization can improve its ability to deliver on time and within budget. The objective here is very simple. We need to move towards success and not disaster. Success does not consist in never making mistakes. We all are human. We all get to a situation where we make mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Because I am not George Bernard Shaw and I am not the philosopher so I say you can make 2 mistakes same time, because it's a unique thing. The way the world is moving today so fast that we might not able to learn from one time. But as a project manager, your job is to keep learning. Your job is to remain observant that what is happening around. And I can share from my experience that we have worked on the projects just for the sake of those mistakes, because we knew even those projects, initiating the projects were mistakes, but we did it. So the first and the foremost mistake that project managers do is we don't know the end game. You can call it objectives, definition of done, goal, KPIs, but we need to know where we are going. Would you be surprised if I tell you that many projects don't have clear goals? Yes, the stakeholders might have a desired outcome in mind that this would happen and we will achieve that thing, but they cannot pinpoint the specific goal they want to achieve. Why are they investing in this initiative? Why the team has been designed to start working on this? We need to.
Yeah. Want to get you a series this morning.
We need to know why this initiative. It is hard to steer the ship if you don't know where you are going. The cause of many project failure is not poor planning or lack of appropriate skills. It is quite simply the absence of a clear objective and the measures with which to identify a success or failure. Poor planning happens because we do not know, and the top management keep shifting the goalpost. The appropriate lack of appropriate skills is the another challenge that we will go into the details. It is important for us as a project managers to hold a kick-off project meeting with all the team members. I read it somewhere. Use the dumb method to define clear objectives and communicate it to team members. Or yesterday night, I was actually reading a Reddit where it is written, explain to me as I am 5-year-old. So use a dumb method to define clear objectives and communicate it. To ensure that we do not have misaligned objectives, each project should have a solid, approved business case that spells out specifically how it aligns with the goals set by our company's executive. The second one, communicate, communicate, and communicate. This does not mean that you are only communicating one way. It is said that only 7% of the total communication is based on your words. Your body language, your style, your gestures, your face expressions, your paralingual, everything plays a vital role. Your job is to communicate, and active listening is a big part of this communication. I'm sure many of you must be thinking that why I have not written a stakeholder here. We all know that we need to keep stakeholders engaged, and we do it to large extent. Yes, sometime more, sometime less, we all have some challenges in it, but this is one part of our communication we completely miss, is our team members. The challenge is here, we leave our team and assume that they know everything. This missed top-down communication create rumors, difference of opinions and rebel groups, and most importantly, gossips. I will share a very good article I read on LinkedIn day before yesterday that why people make gossips on the job and how you can avoid it. If you don't keep everyone on the project informed of decisions, exceptions, changes, team structures, and so on, you can't be surprised when they make mistakes. I mean, they are bound to make mistakes because they don't know your decisions. They don't know what you are communicating at the top, and most importantly, what the top management is communicating. You as a project managers are the bridge between them and the and the organization, top management of an organization. Team member is the smallest unit of your team. If you are talking about a building, these are the smallest unit. If he or she is not properly briefed and motivated, you cannot deliver project and eventually won't be able to play a role in the organization's success. Before moving to next one, I just want to say, be careful about over communication. Yes, over communication in stakeholder has a different impact, and over communication with the team has a different impact. Nobody likes to be micromanaged. You know, micromanaging will be disastrous for your environment. I have seen companies collapse from inside out just because people working inside fail to communicate with each other. Third one, yes, today the focus, most of the things that we read is about, we don't do the scope creep, we don't do the scheduling, we don't do the budgeting. As a project manager, these are your jobs. I mean, this is an expectation of you. When you go into the progress meeting, they will ask you about the budget, they will ask you about the scope, they will ask you about the time, they will ask you about the risk, they will ask you whether what are the issues that you are facing. But this is something that you will miss. No, because nobody asks you about it. This is way too common because we usually working with the long standing teams. So we feel like that we have to push everybody in every direction and they are not required to be motivated or informed. This could put the project at risk if the skills and experience needed are not present in the team. We all know that humans are the most important resource on the projects. Good leaders know how to get optimal results from the people who work for them. You need two type of people on your job, on your projects. A functional role, developer, designer, a cost analyst, QA member, because this is their functional role. And then based on their psychological role, physiology, based on their personality, whether they can lead, they can communicate, what kind of rapport they have within a team. Take feedback from them on how the project is progressing and any changes that need to be made. They are the boots on the ground and should be heard regarding what is happening with the work. Not knowing your team skill set or not having the right skill set also make us get ahead of ourselves and spec out a project without seeking enough input, because we are trying to work and deliver things without having the right team members, and that put the pressure on us as a project manager that do all the jobs. We become the analysts, we become the designers, we say we this so many things in our kitty if we don't have the right skill set. The only way to create a team that's worth more than the sum of its individual contributor is to select the members on the basis of personality, soft skills, and values. This is called synergy. That the total output of your company should be greater than all the inputs that you have. It's a synergy. Your organization is like a machine, a well-oiled machine. If every part is not supporting each other, you will not able to get to a situation where you can deliver the project. And most importantly, benefits. This is interesting one, not being honest and truthful with project sponsors. One important responsibility of a project manager is to keep the project sponsors sufficiently apprised of the project success. It happens all too often. A complex project runs into a roadblock, catching a stakeholder by surprises. Project sponsors represent power. So we all are afraid of them. We wanted to give them, we don't want to give them a bad news. I don't know, but I have seen many a time when the project managers or the people who are in contact with the sponsors, they believe that giving them a bad news is like a rude thing. No, you need to be careful about selection of your words. You need to assure them that yes, you have hit a roadblock, but you have a solution for it. And if you don't have a solution, they are there. They are the umbrella on your project. You can ask them to help you. Definitely, Numan. PM also suggests to give solutions with bad news. Share the news, ask for help. They play a vital role in your project. Their understanding is very important. And what happens is that to make sure that we don't give them the bad news and that the project is going on time within budget, project managers tend to assign too much at once. Risk causing misunderstandings, confusions during project development, which is doomed to failure. Being over-informed here with the project sponsor is better than being under-informed. So this is two different things. While you are communicating, you do not want to over communicate in a way to the team that your team will start losing the trust in themselves, that if every instruction is coming from the top, they say you are micromanaged. And believe me, I have worked with those teams, and I am still working with those managers, those who are over communicating, those who are micromanaging, and their team has completely lost the trust in themselves. They say, okay, if that person has to take all the decisions, let him take the decisions. If you do not respect the boots on the ground, and if you do not let the people take the decision where the work is happening, you would not able to get the right benefits, right results, right skill set, and right support of your team. Being resistant to change. Failing to understand the difference between scope creep and changes. Scope creep is the hidden productivity killer that no one recognizes until it is almost too late. Many project managers see changes in plans, deadlines, and approaches as threatening to overall success of the project. This is wrong. I mean, I think yesterday I was reading it that think of a project as a living thing that evolves, develops, lives, and most of all undergoes modifications based on the things happening around you. Business agility, business requires to be agile today. Things are moving way too fast. You cannot be rigid and say, no, we are not going to change. We have agreed on something. No. How you manage the changes will influence the outcome of your project. Changes should start from the top and trickle down to the bottom instead of being other way around. As a project manager, you have to adapt to changes in order to keep the project flowing smoothly. This could mean changing your approach, adding new resources to the project, and maybe sometimes starting over, going back to the basis to understand what you have missed and how you are going to restructure. How I mean, as I told you, you need to be observant. And I take the examples from the people, my friends and the other project managers. I'm not sure if that person has joining me today or not. He told me that we need to recompile again. He's an IT developer. He said we need to recompile again. We need to recompile in the small sets. True, that's why projects should spend more time in planning in order to avoid inevitable changes. See, whatever time you need to spend is again based on the information that you have today. What is going to come tomorrow? Did you even all have planned for this pandemic? Forget, okay, that is far too extreme. Sometimes suddenly some law is changed. Sometimes your resources are not available. Sometimes the budgets are not there. Then what? Sometimes some very important change come into play because the market conditions are changed. So yes, this is as I told you, this is an extreme example, but there are so many things. So you need to be careful. You just cannot be rigid about the processes, people involved, and communication style. You need to know that Yes, you can change, but be careful. True, scope planning and scope control should be done in order to avoid the changes and scope creep later. Many project management mistakes are unintentional, and but that does not mean they don't happen. In the end, there are so many tricky parts to a project that sometimes the mistakes project managers make are simply unavoidable. The important thing, however, is you learn from them. You take the lessons, you turn them into the lessons so that you can do your roles better as a team leaders and professionals in their fields. And if I add some of the other mistakes in what we have done in terms of technical project management, uh, it is largely about meeting the unreasonably short deadlines, initial deviation of the initial estimates, overestimations, or mismatching the client's requirements and expectations. To avoid this, every project manager needs to invest enough time and attention to the service design stage, which is a vital part of any service delivery lifecycle. There is a difference between leaders and managers. You need to be both to make sure that a company knows where it is going and how it will reach there. Leaders are for the peoples and are for the people, and the managers are for the processes. You need to make them follow the processes. That's why that is how you will able to deliver the deadlines. You will able to manage the milestones. You will able to do the proper scope changes or whatever changes comes to your way. So these are the top 5 mistakes that you could actually avoid on your projects. But now what from here? I hope that everyone is here with us still. So anyone who have joined us later, uh, they may, if they have any question, they can write in the chat box. Just wanted to make sure that what we have covered till now is making sense to all of you. As a project manager, as a professional, we always are looking to move up in our career ladders. We want to take our game to new heights, better job opportunities, and definitely better salaries. What do we have in options? I told you it's about a formal education, because formal education breaks the myopic view. It takes you to the other areas where you are not working, where your organization is not working. If you are a new project manager, CAPM and CPM are two best certifications for you. If you are a senior project manager, PPM, PMP, these are good project management certifications for you. Prince 2 is another one which plays a vital role. It's a certificate for which runs very good when you are in the European states. I personally supports and believe that PMI's PMP is a good certification, because first, PMI has been working real hard in terms of making sure that they remain abreast of the changes, what is happening around the world. That is why they come up with the new PM book every now and then, every 3 to 4 years. and they have the largest set of project managers, certified project managers around the world. That is maybe around 1 million PMP certified project managers. And you can be part of this distinguished club. Those who speaks the right language, those who knows how the chain of the project management work, those who knows what are the templates and the processes that are required to make sure that you deliver the project right. PMI and PMP is going through a change. Their exam is going to change on 2nd of January and the last date is 31st of December. PM book version 7 is about to be launched. They have just changed in the June the application form, which is now reflecting the new direction. I will take you through that new direction now in just a couple of slides. So where the exam is changing, it is changing from the process groups which we have been studying for the last 20-25 years since 1989. Now they are moving towards people. Focus on people, talk about leadership. Give them an environment to the people that they can grow. They can take the leadership. They can, I'm sure you all have heard about the theory X and theory Y, that we need to create an environment that where people believe that they could grow. It's a collaborative environment where everybody has a job and a role to deliver. The processes now become 50% of it, which actually our book deals, and again, the business environment. You are no more a technical project manager. You are supposed to be in the leadership of the organization. And that is why we talk at least 2 points where the business case is very important. Business cases are usually done before the project managers. And they are done as a different projects, as a different initiatives. You need to own those business cases so that you know what are the benefits that organization is looking for. And that is why you need to be understand the business environment. And then now they are also adding the agile, which is 50% predictive and 50% agile in terms of exam. So my expectation is that whatever you have in the book, it will just cover 50%. And you need to at least review 60 to 70% on the pessimistic one. I would say more than what you need to cover now to pass the exam. Definitely an additional book for the agile, and then process, then the people and business is completely open. Book does not deal with it. New direction in the PM book. It is moving from the process based to the principle based environment. Nothing is wrong in the process based and nothing is wrong right in the principle based. It is how the standards are written, which is fine. So from detailed perspective in nature, although we always said that the PM book is not prescriptive, they are descriptive, whereas Prince2 is prescriptive, that you have to follow step by step. You had the opportunity of tailoring in the PM book, but still they expect you to follow the process. They expect you to follow the inputs and outputs. But now they are coming out of it, no more process details. 7th is completely changing the delivery landscape from predictive to agile, including hybrid. It is going to tackle traditional, linear, non-linear, incremental, design thinking, lean startup, agile, Kanban, all kinds of project management, all kinds of projects, because now it is principle based. They are no more telling you to do this process so that if the process is not being followed, you cannot do this thing. We will agree that practices are subject to project environment. Principles are same. They provide the level of abstraction that can incorporate multiple perspectives and approaches. Yes, Mr. Zia, it happens. The cultures, organize, and geographies are completely different. I work with the organizations in the Europe. They are more organized. They want to they have better risk management cycles. They spend time in the scoping. Wherever I have worked with the companies in the Middle East, they tend to get into an execution phase very fast, because there in the Middle East, the they want to just do the quick wins. There is some, I don't know from where this terminology comes in. I hear everywhere, quick wins, quick wins, quick wins. I don't know what these quick wins are. These quick wins are to just to gather the support of the top management and ensure your sponsorship and your finance, but you are technically not adding any value to your project because you are looking for the quick wins. You are not doing the groundwork. So moving out from 49 processes to open area is mean principle, because principle deals why and not how. So today, when you go to PMP and the examination and everything, they talk about the 7 process of the risk register, risk, 5 processes of the scope, but tomorrow they are not going to do it. Control schedule is a process which is currently defined. In new, it is not going to define, and schedule management should be done correctly to achieve the project objectives within the committed schedule. No processes, no inputs and outputs, no delivery. This is what the principle based standard would look like. No more risk register, but you have to work on the threats and opportunities. The 7th edition of the guide builds the standards, and it's structured not around the knowledge area, the ITTOs, but project performance domains of a group related activity that are critical for the effective delivery of project outcomes. Our ultimate goal with the 7th edition, I mean, they said it's a completely new beast. If you go all the links I have provided, you go, you can see that they are saying it's a completely new beast in the market. Our job is going to be different with the greater flexibility, because now we can do anything. I am a project manager. I am working in an organization where the project is very small or it's not very sensitive. I can do any kind of a project management technique. Recently, I learned about Kanban and how it can be used, and I am now enjoying using the Kanban. I'm not using the PMP methodology in terms of the PMP methodology if I go for the book, but I have started using the Kanban boards. The at the top it is same, but the process now for me is a Kanban board, how things are moving. I can see in front of me that what are stuck, where it is stuck, for how many days they are stuck. So now with the 7th edition, they will not be talking about technical project management. So technical leadership will face a very big challenge in terms of getting the PMP certified, and because it will be about more proactive, innovative, and nimble in response to change. Whatever is happening, you are allowed to change, as long as you do a performance domain. It is very important. What we are focusing here is getting you certified before December 31st. Obviously, post this, we will be focusing on the new book and the exam. Reason why you should, or any of your friends or anyone around you should be considering the exam now instead of later, because the training cost will increase many folds because of the multiple things. You will have to cover at least 30 to 40% more. That is, again, I told you it's a pessimistic number. My personal assumption is that it would be 60 to 70% more, because 50% of the all topic, which is people and business, is not part of the book. And then from the processes, agile is going to come new. So the book that you currently read, which is 500 pages, you need to add another 150 or 200 pages for agile. The current knowledge base will be of no use, as there will be no processes in PM Book 7. So today, even if I go and you write how to write a project charter or something like that, that what is the create work breakdown structure, it was there in 1989, the first book when it came in 1995. Everything was there. You can still read it and understand it from there. But now it will be different. It will change in the new structure. It will not be there, and they are making it thin because it's only guiding you in the right direction. And these 10 processes you will be doing yourself. So what is next? You still want to procrastinate and see how the new world era is going to look like? You still don't want to see this is high probability and high impact. You still don't want to make sure that you are properly mitigated. You are not alone. Only 3% among us take the decision at the early stages. These are the early adopters. And obviously it is said the biggest cost is the cost of delay. And I'm telling you up front that if you don't take this certification serious enough now, you will definitely look back and say, yes, we should have done it. Like mistakes. Why are we afraid of this, and why this whole halo effect again in with the PMP certification, that what we need to do, how we are going to, what is the right direction, and how to get the right documentation. It's about Google apocalypse. There are so many things. There are so many YouTubers, writers, which are just putting the things on the internet. 500 hours of videos are uploaded on YouTube every single minute. New course, 5 days ago, 5 days course. It's an overwhelming course. How you are going to do it? It's once you are committing for 5 days, how you are going to keep it for so long with you? It's an overload at the gate. You are not even entering. And from day one, you are being overloaded with all the information. Lots of tasks, hours of videos, reading books. They unintentionally do one simple thing to you. They give a series of very small negative experiences. We have designed a PMP 30 days challenge as an experiment based on my experience, that just 30 days are the best in order to be in the best condition to go through the PMP examination. I had a big if, but then it has worked as intended. Many of these students have passed from the first 2 batches, and they are moving, and the remaining are moving fast into this direction of certification. It is exactly designed to fight 2 things. I don't have time when I reach home. I cannot manage preparing things. I have too much to do. And that is where the 2-hour small, tiny timeline for 30 days will help you build your knowledge brick by brick. The course focuses on expense of mental energy and routine without breaking them. That you will be able to successfully pass your PMP exam after this rigorous routine. And I challenge you that you will be able to take out the necessary time for it, because it is small. We are building one step at a time. And we are not putting 4 hours and 6 hours and 8 hours of time. And once we are together in it for 30 days, we create a relationship which goes beyond the this 30 days. You have a community which is going to help you, whereas in 4 days and 5 days in the smaller boot camp, you don't get that kind of support. So do you want this success? That you know that you have that knowledge, and I leave it up to you to decide how and when you can do it. You can spend countless hours searching for the right video or materials, or you can exploit all the hard work that I have done for you and package everything you need to start learning the PMP right away. The PMP 30 days challenge. You could spend thousands of dollars on a course and still not get it. because those are not designed for it. For the self-paced course, the completion rate is less than 2%. For a 4 days live sessions, what you can get is I leave this answer up to you. That once you are already overcommitted in your lives with your professions and your personal lives, how you can get all this knowledge in 4 days. So here we are closing this webinar and opening it for your questions and the course that is designed for you. You can go ahead and register. We are starting from the 30th of August, which is the Monday, which is 31st of August. So please let me know in the chat if you have any question that I could answer. Samir, I will share with you the videos. So please let me know in the chat box if you have any question. Thank you. You are welcome, Mr. Khan, I believe. Thank you, Mr. Tanveer. Thank you. So let us close our session for here. And thank you, Mr. Zia, Noman, Munia. It is starting on 31st of August at 6:30 Eastern for 2 hours daily. Thank you. So let us close our presentation, and if you have any question, you can just drop me an email.